Katrina. So Katrina made this question, to ask this question. So I will actually, it's because it's a very broad question, so I think that no panel would be in the measure to answer it. So I'll ask Alex. You proposed a number of measures. No, so not Alex. Let's say Sam. You proposed a number of measures. And you think that the money in the MFF would be enough to implement all these?
Thank you, Afonso. Enough if we prioritize and sequence. We reallocate a small slice at the MFF midterm to testing hubs, provenance tools, SME sandboxes and skills, then co-fund with member states and modest levies on high-impact deployments. In practice, Phase 1 in 12 months covers standards, hubs and watermarking on major platforms, and Phase 2 in 24 months finishes independent evaluation capacity and routine stress tests for elections and classrooms.
Sam, would you have a ballpark figure in euros on what these measures would cost? You said a small part of the MFF, so what is that?
Thank you, Afonso. A prudent ballpark for the first 2 years is 5 to 2. 5 billion euro across the EU. Roughly 600 million for national and EU testing hubs and independent evaluations, 500 million to roll out provenance and watermarking across major platforms and public bodies, 400 million for SME sandboxes and compliance templates, 200 to 300 million for skills and trainer networks in schools, media and administrations, and 300 million for election and classroom stress tests and rapid incident reporting. We can cover the lower end by reallocating at the MFF midterm and co-funding with member states. We reach the upper end if we add a modest levy on high-impact deployments and tie procurement to compliance in year 1.
Thank you for this very clear answer. So I will have a question myself that actually will link with the question that was asked by Katrina at the end of the previous keynote. So I see that Isidoro is not here. So if the answer is bad, so too bad. So in the previous keynote, it was about the European Defense Agency and their goal to develop ethical technologies for defense in Europe. And there were a couple of questions here in the room about how can you develop ethical technologies for war? And would you have a take on that, Andrea?
Kiitos. If you mean today, my short point is this. By 2031, Gen AI should serve people's rights and attention, not capture them. So we pair access and creativity with simple safeguards people can feel, collect only what's needed, get clear consent with easy opt-out, keep audit trails with independent checks, label AI content when it matters, and keep a human in charge for impactful decisions. In practice, that protects our public debate and builds social resilience.
Well, I understand you don't want to actually, address that question directly, Andrea. But would you have, from your experience as an NGO representative, would you have an idea on how to balance the ethics requirement in war technologies?
Thank you, Afonso. In war, the real-world effect is blunt. People's lives and rights are at stake, so ethics cannot be a slogan. For Gen AI in defense, I would draw 3 bright lines, then add strict safeguards where use is allowed. First, no autonomous targeting, meaning AI must not select and strike humans without the accountable human deciding, with a clear why note and audit trail. Second, no mass surveillance of civilians, especially no covert emotion profiling, which is guessing feelings from faces or voices. Third, no information operations that deceive domestic publics. because that poisons trust at home and harms cognitive security. Where AI supports defense lawfully, like translation, logistics, or demining, we apply simple guardrails people can picture. Collect only what's needed, get mission-bounded approvals, document data and models, run independent red team checks before deployment, and report incidents within 72 hours. Use proportionate watermarking and provenance on outreach content, and keep human oversight for any decision that can harm rights. The trade-off is some speed and secrecy lost, but we gain compliance with humanitarian law, the EU Charter spirit, and public trust, which are strategic assets in any conflict. In practice, set up joint ethics ops cells with civilian observers, publish narrow use policies, and pause any system that fails independent review.
A much better question, answer. Okay, any other questions? Yes, Nuno.
Hello, my name is Nuno. Again, I would like to place a question to Sam. So, there are plenty, like literally thousands of open source applications that allow you to create AI content outside of any major platforms. This does not allow for any watermarking or any kind of control on the content that is produced. Do you think that open source should be banned to avoid this kind of loss of control?
This question is to Sam, right?
Yes.
And it's from Nuno.
Thanks, Nuno. No, we should not ban open source. We should target obligations at risky uses, not at code itself, and raise resilience around it. That means provenance and watermarking on major platforms and public bodies, detection tools for media and schools, human oversight for impactful decisions, and incident reporting. While we support open source developers with clear standards, testing hubs, and SME-style sandboxes, in practice, we harden the ecosystem and educate users so open tools can thrive without opening the door to chaos.
Any other questions? No? Okay, so we are ahead of time, so which is never a bad thing. I will just then conclude the panel, so I'll ask the panelists to come up with their last words. So the final message from the panel, and I will start with Andrea. What is your final message in a short and brief statement?
Thank you, Afonso, and thank you all. By 2031, Gen AI should strengthen our creativity and our public debate, not drain attention or trust. So we pair innovation with everyday safeguards people can feel, collect only what's needed, get clear consent with easy opt-out, keep audit trails with independent checks, label AI content when it matters, and keep a human in charge for impactful decisions. In practice, that protects cognitive security, supports fair elections in classrooms, and lets good ideas scale without harming rights.
Thank you, Andrea. And Alex, what is your last message for the audience?
Thanks, Afonso, and thanks everyone. By 2031, Europe can lead with Gen AI that people trust. We move fast on safe uses in SMEs and public services, and we hold the line on high-impact cases with clear labels, privacy by default, human in final loop, and independent checks. In practice, that means EU-wide watermarking on major public outputs, testing hubs, and yearly drills for elections and schools, and 72-hour incident reporting. The takeaway is simple. Responsible AI is how we scale innovation, protect attention and trust, and keep Europe competitive.
Very good. Sam, what is your last message to our audience?
Thank you, Afonso, and thank you all. By 2031, Gen AI should power creativity and services while protecting attention, trust, and rights. We move fast on low-risk uses, and we set firm guardrails where systems shape elections, media, and schools. We make this real with human in final loop for impactful decisions, provenance and watermarking on public outputs, independent testing, and 72-hour incident reporting, plus hubs, sandboxes, and skills funded in the MFF midterm. What this means in practice: adopt quickly where it's safe, verify and oversee where it's risky, and build cognitive security so Europe can lead with reliable, human-centered AI.
Okay, very good. So I'd like to call you to actually to thank the panelists.